Welcome back to my What I Like to Eat Lately, kinda breakfast edition. I hope you enjoy. Starting off with my favorite high protein smoothie. So I'm starting with half a banana and then some frozen blueberries. And on top of that, I'm putting some of my favorite protein powder. Right now I'm using one from Sunday Natural. Next I'm adding a little bit of oat flour to make it a bit more rich and creamier. And then I'm also adding some flax seeds, just a little bit of like superfood into it. And then I do also add some unsweetened cocoa powder because I love my smoothies to be a little bit more on the chocolatey side. And then I'm also adding some milk. You can use any milk alternative you want and a little bit of water as well. And then all you need to do is pretty much get your lid on and mix it till it's creamy and smooth. And there you have your finished protein smoothie. Next, I'm showing you my favorite fluffy banana pancakes. So we're starting off with a banana and I'm mashing it down with a fork. Then I'm adding 1 egg to my banana mixture and also a splash of plant-based milk of your choice. I'm using oat milk. And then we're gonna mix it all together until it looks smooth and bubbly. And as you can see, I'm eyeballing all the measurements, so I can't really give you the exact measurements, but you're seeing what I'm doing. When we're done mixing, I'm adding in my flour of choice and also a little bit of baking powder so that the pancakes get nice and fluffy. And then I'm adding a few little chocolate drops just to make it a little bit more fun. And then we're mixing everything up again. I added a splash of milk to make it a little bit more smoother, but you can also add some flour, just how you would like your dough to look like. And don't forget to add some cinnamon. This is a really important ingredient in these pancakes, so be generous with it. Then forming my little pancakes in a medium heated pan, and watch out because these pancakes get brown really easily. And there we have my fluffy banana pancakes. I love to top them with some more banana and almond butter. Next up are these spinach waffles, inspired by the recipe from Susanna Woods. You will need some eggs, a little bit of plant-based milk, then the flour of your choice, a bit of banana and applesauce, then some fresh spinach, oats, and a little bit of baking powder. Then all you need to do is mix all of your wet ingredients or fresh ingredients in a blender to a nice and smooth green texture. Then we're adding all of our dry ingredients such as our flour, baking powder, and oats. And then we're just gonna mix it again. And just like that, we have some healthy spinach waffles that I also love to meal prep and freeze in my freezer, so I have them on hand if I need a really quick snack. And I really love these waffles, so try them out. Also love to eat them with a little bit of soy yogurt, applesauce, and freeze-dried blueberries. Last but not least, I need to show you my current hyperfixation chocolate protein porridge with strawberries that I love to eat in the morning. So you do not need a lot of ingredients. I just use some oat flour and mix it up with a little bit of flax seeds and then also some cocoa powder. Be sure to use the unsweetened one to make it extra chocolatey. And then of course we're adding a scoop of my protein powder. As I mentioned before, it's Sunday Natural and it's all vegan. And then I'm also adding a little bit of cinnamon and mixing everything up. After that, I'm transferring everything to the oven and putting all my dry ingredients into a pot and then pouring on my wet ingredients, which is some oat milk and also a little bit of water. And then I like to simmer my porridge at a medium to high heat so that it gets through quickly. And after a few minutes of stirring, you will get this nice and creamy texture that we want. Using my favorite topping again, which is the roasted almond butter from Rapunzel, and then also adding a few strawberries because the season is almost starting and I really love the taste and combination of the chocolatey porridge with the nutty topping and then the fresh fruit. And that's it. That's my really quick and high protein porridge.